Shalom, and welcome to Shmooze Views Torah Observant Judaism. It's so happy to have you back visiting with us. If you're a first-time viewer, welcome. We're glad to have you here. Today I want to talk about something that's on my mind. Less than a week ago, we had the weekly Parsha, and it was Shoftim, Judges. And in it's this particular Parsha and some of the events that are throughout the Tanakh that for centuries many have tried to persuade us that the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob is a warmonger, instructing the Jews to make war on their enemies, wiping out entire populations without any regard to leaving an opening for a peaceful solution. And last week's Parsha shattered that myth into 1,000 pieces, I'm happy to say. But before I get into the longer discussion here, we need to lay down some foundational groundwork. And the first layer has to do with the perspective concerning what is authoritative. For over 1/2 of today's world's population, that's more than 4 billion souls, the Bible is the foundation upon which all things rest. It doesn't matter if you are a Jew, Christian, Muslim. The Torah, or the first 5 books of the Jewish Bible, are what the rest of the Bible sits on. It is the basis upon which true authority is established. If you are among the less than half the world's population who doesn't accept that authority, then this will be a new perspective for you. But from the Torah's perspective, all the earth is the Lord's, Exodus 9:29. Let's keep that one little statement in mind throughout what I'm going to say today. The earth is the Lord's, Exodus 9:29. As such, it is Adonai's, or the Lord's, to do with as he pleases. That is the first hard truth that must be accepted for everyone living on this planet. As an example, I live on a piece of land located somewhere in North America on planet Earth. We like to say we own this land. The government likes to make claim that it owns it, since taxes must be paid on it in the form of property tax as long as I live on it. The truth is, even the banks try to say they own the land if you have a mortgage that you're paying. But again, the truth is no human agency, be it me, the bank, or the government, owns any of it. The land, the entire earth, is the Lord's. We are, with his permission, simply homesteading on it for a short duration of time. This brings us to one particular piece of land that has been called by several different names over the eons of time. One of the oldest names is the land of Canaan, after the grandson of Noah. The land of the Philistines. The land of Israel, named after Jacob. Judea, Dihane, the Egyptian name for it. Palestine, the Roman Empire name. The Holy Land, the Roman Catholic Church name. And its current name, the State of Israel, the land of promise. The story of this landmass is as ancient as Sumer and Egypt, and has been a point of contention, war, and peace for thousands of years. What makes it so important is its strategic location for the trade routes between Egypt, the Mediterranean regions, and all those lands to the north and east, including the silk trade with China. Anyone wishing to travel those routes with relative safety and ease must go through and into Israel. With today's modern air travel, those routes are far less important. However, Israel still hosts some of the most important ports for shipping throughout the Mediterranean area. Therefore, as then and today, whoever holds claim to that tiny but strategic land, if properly managed, is sitting on a gold mine of wealth and influence that impacts the whole globe. That land, as is the whole earth, is the property held by its landlord, the owner, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and according to the widely accepted authority on this issue, was granted into the stewardship and care of Abraham and all of his offspring through the line of Jacob, dating back over 4,000 years. While Hashem owns the land, he has granted the title deed to the Jews in an eternally binding covenant that he states will never be broken or rescinded. While habitation on the land is contingent on the Jews adhering to the law of Moses, the title deed to it is unchangeable for all time. Genesis 17:8. Now, Shoftim, the parsha that we studied last week, as it relates to Hashem as a warmonger, or does it relate to Hashem as a realist? There is a lot of ground covered in Shoftim, ranging from everywhere, from the rules of the establishment of courts, behavior of all future kings and rulers of lands, how to deal with idolatry, prophets, Levite priestly activity and gifts to them, setting up cities of refuge, etc. However, there is one area in that parsha that many overlook, especially those who want to make claim that the God of Israel is a war-loving deity. For centuries, those who wish to see the Jews as occupiers and not the rightful deed holders loved to ramble on and on about how Joshua invaded innocent men and women and children in the Jewish God's lust for that strategic land area. That claim continues even today, with the almost daily cry from those who want to make the Jews demons out to destroy the so-called Palestinians in the land. Well, that authoritative source begs to differ. Keeping in mind who God says are the people he has given the land rights to, listen to his instructions to the Jews who are faced with the possibility of war with its neighboring non-Jews within the land. Deuteronomy 20, verses 10 and 11 says, quote, "When you draw near to a city to wage war against, you shall call out to it for peace. It shall be if those within the city respond to you in peace and opens for you, then the entire people found within it shall be a tribute for you and shall serve you." Close quote. Now, some will sarcastically say, wow, answer in peace and we get to live and be slaves to the Jews for the rest of our lives. What a bargain. Well, to understand the context of the verses and the teachings of our sages of blessed memory will give us a much better understanding of what that verse is saying. To serve is not equivalent of slavery, but of citizenship, with Israel as the rightful governing body of the land. Those who agree to peace are accounted as equal citizens in the land, serving in whatever capacity they are gifted with and paying their taxes like any other Jewish citizen would do. They are treated as equal citizens as long as the peace is maintained by both sides. In much the same way today, those non-Jews living in the modern state of Israel, all inhabitants, be they Jew, Arab, so-called Palestinian, or Gentile, as citizens have the right to have a job or a business, make a living, have a home, raise their children, practice their religion, participate in elections, and so forth, as long as they do not foment war, terrorism, or rebellion, and pay their fair share in taxes, aka tribute. Recognizing the legitimate government of the duly elected Israeli Prime Minister, President, and Knesset, which is a mixed elected parliamentary group consisting of Jews and non-Jews, they have the full rights and privileges of all citizens. The very foundation for this democratically run system was laid down in the Torah. So I ask the question again, is the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob a warmonger or a realist? I do believe chapter 20 and verses 10 and 11 answer it perfectly. No warmonger, before engaging in battle, first offers their enemy the hand of peace, which includes full citizenship and participation in their land if that hand of peace is accepted. That is being a realist, a lover of peaceful coexistence over that of the horrendous tragedy of war with its tremendous loss of life on all sides. Our God is first and foremost a God of peace. I hope this little lesson here has laid to rest this erroneous idea that the God of Israel is a war God. No, he's a God of peace. He's a God of love, first and foremost. He's a God of justice and redemption, first and foremost. So, I would encourage you to help those who can't see that, to help them understand what the real God of Israel is all about and what he's like. I would encourage you also to hit that subscribe button, the notification bell, and the like button. Tell your friends and family about Shmoo's Views. Have them come by. Stop by either YouTube or Rumble and check out our videos. Come by our website, Shmoo's Views, Torah Observant Judaism. Come and join our Shmoo's Views Locals community. And if you need to get a hold of me by email, you can do that at shmoo, that's SHMU, at startmail.com. That's shmoo at startmail.com. Until next time, may the God of peace rule your heart with peace. Shalom.